What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, thank you for checking the channel out. So Zack Snyder just tweeted, he shared this article and he tagged Netflix. Let's go. I opened up the article, apparently announcing a new project that he's going to be doing with Netflix. I did not read the article yet. I just saw it a few minutes ago, but I want to make a video reading it for the first time to see what this is about. It says Zack Snyder sets next movie sci-fi adventure Rebel Moon at Netflix. All right, coming from the Hollywood Reporter. So let's see what this is going to be about. Let's see what they have to say about this. Zack Snyder has gone from zombie apocalypses and ancient Greece to nightmares and Metropolis. Now the filmmaker is heading into faraway galaxies. Snyder has set his next project, an epic sci-fi fantasy titled Rebel Moon, that he is co-writing and will direct and produce for Netflix, the home of his most recent hit, Army of the Dead. And it reteams the filmmaker with many of the creative colleagues of his past original ventures. Snyder is co-writing the script with Army co-screenwriter Shay Hatton and Kurt Johnstad, who co-wrote 300, Snyder's stylish sword and sandal flick adapting the Frank Miller comic. Snyder and Johnstad will receive story by credit. Cool. So he's talked a lot about working with Shay Hatton on Army of the Dead. And you know, if he worked with Kurt Johnstad on 300, then I'm sure they also have, if they're choosing to work together again, they must have a good relationship. So let's see what else. And he will produce with wife and producing partner Deborah Snyder via the duo Stone Quarry, along with longtime principal Wesley Collar. Awesome. Okay, of course Deborah's going to be the producer. Why wouldn't she? Eric Newman, who produced Snyder's 2004 feature debut Dawn of the Dead, as well as movies ranging from Children of Men and Project Power to Bright and the upcoming Spiderhead, is producing via his banner Grand Electric. Grand Electric's Sarah Bowen will executive produce. All right. Rebel also puts Snyder back in business with Netflix Scott Stuber, who oversaw Dawn of the Dead in his then role of vice chairman of Universal and was instrumental in bringing in Army of the Dead. So yeah, he's the guy who Zack had talked about when they met together. He was like, tell us what you got going on, and you know, tell us about Army of the Dead. What ideas do you have for that? And he was like, yeah, let's go. You know, he gave the green light to that right away and wanted to know what else Zack could do with this franchise in this world. So he plays a big role in Netflix. Clearly. The story is set in motion when a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy is threatened by the armies of a tyrannical regent named Belisarius? I don't know how to say that. Desperate people dispatch a young woman with a mysterious past to seek out warriors from neighboring planets to help them make a stand. Okay, so that's a little bit of what we can expect from the story. This is me growing up as an Akira Kurosawa fan, a Star Wars fan, Snyder tells The Hollywood Reporter. It's my love of sci-fi and a giant adventure. My hope is that this also becomes a massive IP and a universe that can be built out. Wow, so that's pretty significant to say that, because he's building the Army of the Dead universe at Netflix, but now he's saying that he's hoping, and that's an original IP, but now he's hoping that this can also be another, original IP that he can expand on with another universe. And I don't see why Netflix wouldn't let him do that, seeing as how fond they are of him and the relationship they've built working on Army of the Dead, and how supportive they've been of him and Deborah, and just wanting him to expand on Army of the Dead. So I'm not surprised I wouldn't be surprised if they do that with this movie as well. Rebel finds the germs of its origins in a Star Wars pitch the filmmaker had developed a decade ago. Wow. It was a more mature take on the universe created by George Lucas and didn't move beyond any meaningful conversations after the Walt Disney Company acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. At one point, he and Newman even went down the path of making it a series. Wow, interesting. Okay. So he's had these ideas swirling for a long time, kind of similar to Army of the Dead as well. But it was as a feature that he felt its true potential lay. He began reworking the idea with Johnstad and really dove in at the same time as he began making Army of the Dead, bringing in that movie's co-scribe, Hatton. The latter, at 27, had quietly become an in-demand franchise writer, deepening the world of John Wick for Lionsgate, by working on the third and upcoming fourth and fifth installments. Oh, I didn't know he worked on that too. Shay Hatton. I've spent the last 2 or 3 years building out this universe. Every corner has to be painted in. I've been doing redesigns, constantly drawing and really cultivating its fertile ground to make this world fully realized. Another quote from Snyder. Army was viewed by 72 million people in its first 4 weeks, according to Netflix, landing it in the streamer's top 10 most watched movies. Even before its May 14th release, Snyder and Stone Quarry had a German-language prequel movie and an anime series in production, making Army not just an original property but a franchise. So yeah, we know that that movie that they're talking about right there, the prequel movie, Army of Thieves, I think it's called. That's going to be coming out later this year, and then next year we'll get the animated series, Las Vegas. So, Rebel will be another IP and a hoped-for franchise for Netflix, which is building its arsenal in the age of streaming wars. Yeah, they're just dominating. The feature will be Snyder's next movie, and the hope is to begin production in early 2022. I've been working on this on the side for so long, it's pretty far along, he says. Wow. Very cool. So it's not just beginning stages. If they're hoping to start production in early next year, that's not that far away to begin production. That means, a lot of stuff happens before you even start filming a movie. So that means it sounds like it's pretty far along. All this unfurls as Snyder has one of the biggest years in his filmmaking career. Very true. On top of Army and the new project, he also saw his vision of Justice League restored and make a splashy debut on HBO Max. And the movie's recent international release on DVD and Blu-ray saw it catapult to the top of the sales charts in several countries, France and Brazil among them. All right, and just a reminder, it's also for pre-order, available for pre-order on Amazon if you're in the States as well. Okay, so Hatton is becoming a Snyder and Netflix mainstay. Rebel marks his 5th collaboration with the streamer, including Army, the prequel, the anime, as well as Day Shift, Netflix's vampire thriller starring Jamie Foxx that is currently shooting. That's talking about Shay Hatton. John Stedmore recently co-wrote the Charlize Theron action movie Atomic Blonde. His rep. All right. Okay, so that's the end of the article. For them to say at least a little bit what the story is about, that means he's not just beginning to write. Like he said, it's probably pretty far along if they hope to start production in early of next year. We're already in July, so the year's more than about halfway over. These months are just flying by, so that's not that far away. It seems like they're pretty far along. They know where they want to take this movie and what they want for it, especially if he's had these ideas swirling around for, 10 years or so. With Army of the Dead, he knew what he wanted to do with that, like right after Dawn of the Dead came out. And that didn't happen. That didn't come to fruition for a long time. Even though with that movie, he started over from scratch and wrote a new script. And he brought in Shay Hatton and everything. He still knew what he wanted for that movie and the story and everything. So very cool. We know what Zack Snyder's next movie is going to be. I am not surprised at all that it is with Netflix. I'm actually very happy that it's with Netflix. I'm still so happy for him and Deborah that they found a place where they are supported and just uplifted and have positive energy around them, and I can't wait to hear more about it. So Zach was obviously excited to share this article. Maybe, I'm sure over the coming months and, everything, maybe he'll be sharing a little bit more about this movie. Probably the next thing we would find out maybe is casting or something like that, but probably not for a while still. But, if they want to start shooting within the next 7 months or so, that's probably the earliest. That'd be like really beginning of the year. But that's not that far away. And so I'm so happy Netflix is supporting him and Deborah. And it's just really cool to see. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Reading it for the first time, finding out what they have to say about Zack Snyder's next movie. They are nonstop working. They're just busy, busy, busy. So yeah, maybe this will become another, like he said, big IP and universe to flesh out on Netflix. Very cool. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're excited about this news, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you enjoy my other videos, you can subscribe if you're new. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.